Now we're going to learn how to edit the content on your pages, starting with text. And now we're on the public side of the website, and you'll notice that this little bar is up at the top here, and I haven't drawn attention to that too much, other than to use it to switch between the dashboard and admin tools and the public side. But one of the neat things about this bar is that as you navigate through your site, like a little location, for instance, it's important to understand that this little bar does not appear unless you are already logged in to your WordPress administrator as the admin or some other user who has editing privileges. So the public isn't seeing that, and they can't just wander in and start changing your pages. So here we are. We have a couple of options that are appearing on the page to edit the page we're looking at. One is up in the bar, and another one is this little edit button, which again doesn't appear if you're not logged on as administrator. Not all themes will have this little edit in the text, but most themes will have the bar up at the top. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to click on Edit Page for our location page. So far we're off to a roaring start. We've only got one line. It says here we are. Here is where we are located. So this will remind you very much, I'm sure, of your favorite text editor, Microsoft Word or something along those lines. So I'm going to just go through the process of simply punching in some text. So 123 Main Street. Every town, USA. So now you notice we've got two, giant spaces here, and maybe you just want one space. That's one of the annoyances with some older installations of WordPress. This may be improved in future versions, but for now, what I'm going to do is put my cursor right before the E in every town and hit backspace or delete if you're using a Mac. Then hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and hit return or enter. What that does is it limits the carriage return to one space. So that's going to add years to your life. I find that quite aggravating that it defaults to 2 spaces, but that's just me. So that's the basics of adding text. Let me show you some of the different levels of text in a document so you can understand some of the menu options here. What we're looking at right here is a paragraph. Paragraph options, that's sort of the default text format for a document. But in a document, you also have the option of adding headings. And headings break up the hierarchy of importance when it comes to items inside of your document. To illustrate, I'm going to select heading 1, and I'm going to say this is a scholarly document about fruit. So we're going to say fruit around the USA. I'm not doing my best writing right now, so bear with me. And okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we'll have a second level heading called Introduction, and then a bunch of text. So let's use our imagination here. This is a bunch of text for introduction, and then we'll have another second level heading, and we're going to call that, we're going to select heading 2, and we're going to call that apples. And then we'll have a bunch of stuff about apples here. And then we'll have another second level heading called oranges. And we'll have a paragraph about oranges. So what that does is it implies the hierarchy of the document. And actually Google really likes a really well structured document because it makes it easy for it to index and figure out what's important. And it also sends the message that you really care about the proper structure And this only really matters if you're doing a long scholarly document like a Wikipedia article or something along those lines where you're trying to organize a large amount of data. For our original idea here, the location page, this is certainly overkill, but I wanted to use that to demonstrate the hierarchy of headings inside of here. And I don't believe I have ever used anything smaller than a heading 3. So that shows you the kind of non-scholarly work that I'm churning out. So we're going to update our page here. So that's how to edit the text on a WordPress page.